Oh, yeah, here we go. We are back live, episode 39. I can't believe it. I'm Adam Ross with your host, Tyler, on my virtual left. And Tyler, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How you doing today?
Oh, man, fantastic. We have a lot of kick butt peeps following us on this show.
The Matageddon has attacked.
Oh man, it was awesome, and I got to thank everybody for participating. It was super cool to see everybody throwing their stuff on the fan page. It really shows that you guys have been following along. We appreciate what you're doing for us too, because man, without you guys following along and giving us the stuff, man, we wouldn't even have this show. And man, already we are up to this show. And Byron won last week and posted his winning, so super cool to see all that. Yeah, the submissions were awesome. We'll get into that a little bit later, but definitely an awesome time. You guys are making it so much fun for me and Tyler that you know what, we're blessed to have you guys on board with us. But we got to get into some stuff because we got a lot to cover in tonight's show.
Yes, we do. I mean, and the awesome part is, I mean, you guys were right at it. You know, as soon as we got off episode 38, it was the Matageddon pictures were coming out. It was really cool to see. So we appreciate, you guys grasping that and taking off with it. And hopefully we taught you something during that episode, because we're not done yet. We're probably going to have at least today and then another night coming up here for episode 40. So we're excited to keep this going.
Absolutely. Speaking of Matageddon, we figured it was so popular, we're going to use that for the hashtag again. And like Tyler was saying, if you want, you know what, hashtag just to get your entry in for today. So if you want to win some prizes, what is the prize for today anyway?
Oh, yes. Okay, so we got two prizes, so two winners. One is going to be a small mouse pad. So we got small mouse pad with the magnetics. So that's going to one of the lucky winners. And the next one is going to be those are the minis. What am I talking about? The small mouse pad, which is this one in front of me. This is
geez. That's a nice setup right there.
Yes. Small mouse pad with the magnetics. So this is the first one we're talking about. And our small Carbon Series mat here with the magnetics.
Good tease. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it grew a little bit. So, yes, apologies on that. So, yes, even better. So, the small Carbon Series and small mouse pad for the winners tonight.
So, to get in, all you have to do is comment hashtag Matageddon like you guys did last week. And I apologize. There were so many viewers on Instagram last week. If you do comment Matageddon on Instagram, it does not count. You either have to be on YouTube or Facebook for it to work, and good luck, because we want to see them in action, going to some fun people. But definitely cool to see that everybody already basically posted their stuff from their winnings last episode, which is crazy because it's only been like not even 2 weeks today.
That's right. No, things work fast. I mean, it would seem like they were super excited. I mean, this is like, the mats are kind of what CowRC started the business on, and it's continued to evolve. And actually, it really evolved rather quickly and recently. I mean, over the last 2 years, we've had a lot of great things come out of the magnetics world, and now we're to the rubber mats, which is really what we're going to talk about today. Is we talked a lot about the magnetic mats and the different options, different configurations, and now we're going to start getting into the rubber series, which is the mouse pad and the Carbon Series, hence the two giveaways, and how the magnetics also integrate into those. So it's almost like when you're buying those mats, it's an opportunity to have like a two-in-one workstation.
Yeah, it's like leveling up. It's super cool. And having these mats, the best thing about the mouse pads. Well, actually, you know what? Before I get into it, what are we going to talk about first? Because I know I don't want to get too far off the thing. What mats are we going to talk about first?
Well, I think we were gonna share some fans submissions, right?
Oh man, I got it all queued up. Now
Yeah.
this one nobody knows about, but I'm going to show it anyways. It's pretty funny. I don't have a name on this one, but somebody might know who's this one is.
Oh, I know that guy.
No, this was a great setup and definitely cool to see. But this is some of the submissions right here. So this one's Fish and Bill's full one. And he's got a lot of different pieces and a few custom size orders on the table. If you look closely, many other CowRC mats that aren't seen in this view, but he has a pretty dialed pit setup. Let's see. We got the other one right here. Oh, it's man. Super dialed. And you can see quite a few different mats in there. So up next, we have this one is Jim. And Jim is a longtime customer, one of the initial Carbon pre-order crew. So having the Carbon there is definitely pretty cool to see that. And the CowRC mats that aren't seen in this view, but he's got the standard work area as well. And as you can see, he definitely has some cool stuff. This one is from John Rogers, and I think he's got every mat in the arsenal just in this one picture. So definitely a dialed setup. And I like the corner setups. I have a corner setup myself, but definitely cool to see that. This one is from Martin, and he's been building for a few years now. And he even commented after tonight's episode, I think I'm going for a stealth mat for his Carbon series, which I think I might do too. But we got a secret towards the end of the show, just to let you know. And this is what he uses his mouse pad, Carbon. It's definitely pretty cool. Look, he's commenting right now as we're in there. Yeah, no, guys, it's because of you that we actually have all this cool content to show off. So definitely appreciate it. This one is Sean's, and Sean definitely has some cool stuff to show off. This is another one of Sean's solder areas with the solder mat in full effect. This one is Tom. Tom has quite a few custom mats made up. He's been over a dozen years a customer, and he's more easy. Basically, his wrench spot has been growing. It says for months. I think he's out in Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, he recently joined the factory team. I mean, probably about a year ago.
Okay, yeah, and he's saying it's the calm before the storm. So that's definitely cool. So this one up next, we got I think this is Brent or Truman Britt. He's a new customer and building up quickly. His work area was helped with Heath himself, and has been building it the last couple months. And he's got a couple of CowRC upgrades that he's looking to do, and definitely turning into a sanctuary suited to soothe the soul while working. So very, very cool work spot there. And this is a close-up, and you can see he's got the solder mat, the Carbon mat. He's got a couple inserts, and yeah, definitely a dialed looking workspace.
It's like a mini LMT build going on there.
Oh man, he definitely has some cool stuff. Up next, we got Zach. Zach definitely is a team driver, and his videos have been phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to doing it. This was his contribution to Matageddon. As you can see, he's probably got almost all the mats we're going to cover tonight in his stuff. But definitely super cool to see all these mats in action. And I think that is it for the mats. And guys, we appreciate all the submissions, man. Seeing them all being tagged, using the Matageddon hashtag was definitely fun for us, because anytime me and Tyler do something live, we're never sure how the contributions are going to pan out, you know? So you guys hit a home run, and we truly appreciate you guys contributing to these workspaces for sure.
Well, I noticed there's a ton of rubber mats on those pictures. I mean, I think you guys have grasped the idea of the difference between the magnetics and the rubber. You know, we've got some soldering stations, the mouse pads, and the Carbon Series mats in a lot of those photos. So, you know, as we gotta go through this, you know, what Adam and I are going to go through today is we're going to finish up some magnetics with some of our specialty magnetics here right now, and then jump into the rubber series mats. And you know, for the guys who have them, feel free to comment on things you've learned, what you use them for, maybe like how you clean them. We saw some posts on the fans page, I think today or yesterday, of some really used Mousepad mats, and the question was, how do you clean them? So those are things that Adam and I can help with too, and you know, we welcome your comments as well to help out everybody.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, by all means, comment, and we will get to it. If we don't get to it while we're doing the specific role, we will bring it back. We can start it, all that stuff. So we will definitely get into that. But no, the Carbon Series is unfortunately not solder resistant, but we got a little hidden gem here a little bit later in the show that we will share with you that is solder resistant. Definitely super cool. I use my mouse pad as a mouse pad. Actually, so do I.
Me too. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those durable things to get into, and a lot of fun. But should I pull up the website? And the first thing I think we're going to talk about is the hybrid mats. If I'm not
yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to round out the magnetic mats, and kind of what we thought would help is kind of going through the website and showing you the different places where you can purchase these mats. I mean, the hybrid mats are a challenge to show on video. I think we'll get into that next episode, but the hybrid mats are kind of like the creme de la creme of magnetics.
So the thing about the hybrid mats is it's the best of both worlds when it comes to flat mats and the work mats. The thing that I like the best is once I have my hybrid mat set up, it's basically my home base. I don't travel with it too much because traveling with it is extremely difficult. It is probably one of the hardest ones to travel with. So you got to be extremely cautious. And if you're investing this kind of money into your work area, you want to take good care of it. And having these are definitely one for the diehard. I'm going to say that if you want your custom measurements, your custom table, your custom whatever, you can message Heath and pretty much get any of these wonders built right up. Now, obviously, I'm going to show off this one right here. This is kind of the area that I'm rocking. And I feel that with multiple different vehicles, this one is not too shabby to have. So basically what I do is I break it into 2 vehicles for myself, 1 vehicle for my son, 1 vehicle for my daughter. And the cool thing is with these, you can actually have where these are removable. So you can actually take them right off your custom mat and layer it for protection. So your big main mat isn't getting damaged at all. You'll always have that picture perfect, safe hybrid mat, but you can have a workable area right in here as well. So definitely something to look for if you're looking to work on multiple vehicles and multiple projects, but still have that pristine, picture perfect area for showing off your rig once it's complete.
I'm curious, Adam. I've not. So you said you have this one?
Not this one exact. I have one similar to it. Let me see if I have mine on here. I think mine is like this one right here. So the one
I was curious about the black area that's up there. I wonder if that's a Stealth Series like layer in there. I just never seen that until you pulled it up.
I actually think that is for where they put the banner, because you get to choose your banner.
Okay.
So I think it's just for the graphic area.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. That's pretty cool. That's a cool thing of these hybrid series. Like, actually, if you go back to the main page, I can show you which one.
It is a stealth piece.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. That's cool. I actually haven't realized that was integrated into that. That's really neat.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
If you go to the main page, I'll show you which one I'm using right now.
So Heath
And
is saying each one is integrated in here and removable, and each layer can be rearranged, which is pretty cool. So kind of like what I was saying with it can be broke down and all that.
that's
So you're
cool.
protecting your main investment. It's definitely super cool. All right. So you want me to go back, you said?
Yeah, go to the main one. I'll show if you scroll down, keep going. Right there, it's the 24 by 34 screw catcher hybrid. So go to your left a little bit. Yeah, that one,
This
the
one?
119.99 one. So
Yeah.
I've had this one for quite a long time. It's probably been at least 2 years. And this one's is almost like a work mat, but it's huge. It's just a massive, massive work mat, and it was one. And I don't might be a tiny bit different than this, but I liked it because I wanted all of the workspace down at the bottom, right? So
Okay.
like you look, see all the parts trays around the top and around the sides, and I
Yep.
wanted that because I wanted, I didn't want to have to reach over and build and have like my shirt and stuff like that get into the screws and move them around. So I wanted everything up front, close to me so I could get to it, and then all the perimeter items, so I could reach, organize everything, and having the protective gloss laminate topping on it is awesome because as you see, there's got to be 20 different or 30 different pockets, right?
Yeah.
And so trying to remember what screw goes where is darn near impossible. And it's nice you can just kind of write in those pockets with your with your grease pen what size of screws are in there, or what does this nut go to, and it makes things so much easier where you have a lot of space. And like if you're working with a smaller area, because sometimes like when I first started in the RC industry is I'd work with like maybe one axle, so I'd start taking apart one axle just because I had limited amount of space and a limited amount of product. But on something this big, you can take the whole truck apart. The left side could be the front axle, the right side could be the rear axle, and maybe the top becomes your your center chassis area where your center diff and your gearbox and all that type of stuff lives. So it's a neat way to have everything organized. Plus, it has the header, kind of at the top, middle-ish, so you're still looking good, and it's still got a lot of bright white clean area for you to work on.
Yeah, it is definitely an easy way to stay organized, especially with that many pockets. You can basically anything that you're currently working on, you can separate and have basically all on its own. It's a cool setup for sure. Now, the one that I actually have here is this one right here. So I have the 24 by 48, and this
Huge.
one has quite a few pockets. Obviously, I have the green streak, of course, but the amount of pockets in this setup is awesome. This one is obviously secure, and if you check out episode 38, you will see actually when I was showing it off, and I showed that I have a removable top that I keep in the middle, and that's
Smart.
what I work on. So then that way my investment stays pristine, and you basically can beat on it as much as you want, and you're only replacing the small little cutout, which
That's
is
nice.
super nice. Yeah, that was a pro tip that was given to me from the man himself, Heath, and just to save you some money and your investment, right? So then you're just replacing the one blank slate. So definitely super cool. The hybrid mats are like he said, those are like totally customizable.
Mhm.
You get to pick whatever you want. And if you don't see something there, you definitely have to message Heath and see. Yeah, 25 pockets aside, that's no joke. How he set me up and loved it. Yeah, no, that I'm telling you,
Mhm.
if you don't see something on the site and you got an idea in your head, message Heath. He'll actually make this come to fruition. It's pretty crazy.
Well, that's the cool thing is like the way Heath, I'm sure Heath would love to sell you a ton more magnetics and and let you ruin your stuff, and it doesn't look good, so you keep buying more stuff. But that's not how CowRC operates. It operates
Yeah.
on efficiency and you enjoying the product. And the more you're protecting your investment, more likely you're going to keep digging deeper into the hobby and different parts of RC maintenance, and getting the greases and the silicones and the thread lockers, all that type of stuff that CowRC has offered. Not to mention all the cleaning electronic devices that we have. So it's one of those things that Heath helps you stay out of trouble and keep your workstation looking nice, so you can have great pictures like all these fans submitted to us that Adam showed off. Because that's what we want to see. That's just the nice part about it. Have a nice white surface for you to show off your cool builds and your cool work areas.
And I'm not going to lie, working on stuff with the white background is a blessing, because up next we are going to be talking about the Stealth Series. But right. I got to tell you, I love my Stealth Series. Even though it's not the easiest to work on, I got a couple of the Stealth goodies here. And I bring this to the track, and this is when I'm running on road, and the Stealth Mat is the ticket, because we are allowed to sauce on our track. We have a spec tire, but it makes it so much better having the black, because if you just rub your tire on a white surface, you're going to leave a scuff mark, and if you don't get to it very quickly, you're going to actually have that mark there. So you want to make sure that with the Stealth Series, it's beautifully black the whole time, so you're not really going to have that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a neat thing to have as like an alternate, right? Like the original was white, and some background history on the Stealth Series. I know we've talked about this before, but there was I would say at least 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, there was a limited non-advertised run of what was called black mats. And it was a flat black mat, and the problem with it is because it was flat and it doesn't have the protective top gloss coating that these ones do, the Stealth Series had, it would scratch very easily. So that's why it wasn't mass produced, because everyone knew who got it that you were going to damage it at some point, because of that flat mat coating just couldn't take the beating of scratches and stuff like that. So what CowRC did is every Stealth Series mat has a protective top gloss coating. You can see my screen, my computer screen. That's how glossy this thing is. That's what makes it look. I mean, it's like liquid tar. Is what this looks like. It's really beautiful. It stands out really nice. And so like that's why these have become mass produced, right? Because of that. So now that before, when the black mats were out, it was just a novelty thing. It was, people knew they were going to scratch them, and they were like, yeah, that's fine. We don't care. And so it wasn't a good thing to give to somebody unknowing. But now that the top protective gloss coating is out, these are now mass produced. So still for sale, or still going to be for sale on the website. A ton of different configurations, work mats and flat mats available, different sizes. I've got, this is a medium size mat right here. And I've got a medium size flat mat, but there's larges, double XLs, all kinds of cool stuff. We do not have these in parts trays or part strips. It's just limited to the actual mat, work mats and flat mats at this point.
Now, I'm wondering if Heath would actually customize, I guess, the hybrid mat in a stealth color. Because I noticed I'm going through all the offerings for the stealth stuff, and the biggest one is the XL, as far as I can see. The double XL.
Yeah.
The double XL. So
huge.
That is the biggest, eh?
Yes, it is. And that's a good question about the hybrid mats, because I have never seen one. And I would assume that you could do it depending on how big the rolls are. Obviously, like these are sold in rolls, so the magnetics come in these big rolls. Oh, here he said. He's absolutely Stealth Series costs a bit more, but not a problem. So yes, going to the and good point to Heath's comment is the Stealth Series mats do cost more than the regular white magnetics, because the material costs more. So you'll see that a large work mat in Stealth Series will cost more than the white, but you're paying for that extra that material cost difference.
Yeah, they're definitely good looking mats. But like I said, somebody mentioned though that it's good for the specific I guess like bright screws and stuff like that. But honestly, working on a white mat for me is the money move. It's so much easier. Everything just seems to pop. The stealth for me is all about the on-road and just like looking dialed. It is a nice piece to have. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, So that is something to talk about. That is definitely cool. It will fit right into your carbon mat. So I don't have a stealth mat that size, but it definitely fits in there perfectly. And one of those things that you can swap in and out.
I mean, you can see on, it's a little bit hard to see here, but you know, my mouse pad, right? The small mouse pad, it fits on this. So this is the
Perfectly.
work mat, you know,
Yeah.
so this large, I'm sorry, this is the medium work mat, fits on the small mouse pads. And we'll get into that here in a little bit once we jump into the rubber mats, but I thought that was a good segue that Jason had.
Yeah. So all the same things apply to the Stealth series as we've already talked about in the previous ones. So we're not going to go over all the exact same things that we just talked about, but it's definitely a cool option if you want to see and be part of the dark side. And all of the headers can be selected, and it's your choice. Obviously, whatever theme you're rocking can be applied to the Stealth series. So the next thing after the Stealth, I wanted to bring this up quickly. It's pretty cool. Heath got to work with Adam Drake and Rhonda Drake, and the cool thing about their products are it's super race friendly. So these were set up for the OGO travel bags. They are under 6 pounds and definitely has the racer at heart. So if you're interested in something like that, these are your go-to setup. It's pretty cool setup for racing and fits exactly into the OGO bag. So if that is your thing, definitely check them out. Very, very cool. And having Rhonda and Adam Drake on it is obviously a bonus too, because they're
Yeah.
icons in the industry, to say the least.
Well, it's really cool. They specialize. I mean, they came up with that design to fit their, you know, what they like, which is really cool to come. I mean, especially for someone who's new to racing and doesn't even, you know, doesn't know how to start out. I mean, to have something where you can get a kit that is set up by two very famous racers, that's perfect. Especially outdoor, you know, the 8 scale. I think they only
Yeah.
do 8 scale. And so it's just a cool kind of thing where you can set up and then kind of go from there. But you're already ahead of the game if you follow what the pros do.
Yeah. So I just want to mention again, we got over 40 watching right now just on
Nice.
the two feeds, multiple on Instagram. Matageddon is
That's
the
great.
hashtag, and please make sure you hashtag it. And unfortunately, it does not work if you're on Instagram. Please switch over to either Facebook or YouTube. We will try and get the Instagram chat integrated into the giveaway, but definitely make sure that you hashtag it because we want this giveaway to be big this time around.
Yeah, I've heard Adam's a great guy. I mean, I know Heath talks to him a lot. He's been involved with CowRC for many, many years. So he's been an icon in the race industry for a long time. So that's good to hear. I've never met him.
I've met him a few times at the big events. Definitely
Very cool.
a good guy and an ambassador for RC as a whole, not just for CowRC, but in general. Super nice, super helpful, and you don't even have to be on his team to get the love and support from
Nice.
him. So super cool to see. So up next is getting into some of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with it, are we going to start with the mouse pad? I think is up next, or
Yes.
carbon?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to bring it up, but this has got to be my new favorite. Look at that. That is beautiful. So this is the Carbon Series, and for me, the Carbon Series is definitely the go-to for mobile racing enthusiasts. What you're looking at from Tyler is the small mini
Yep. The mini.
Carbon, and he's got the magnetics in it, and it pops. So the mini I've been using just for like diff rebuilds and stuff like that, and it is definitely cool. Um, it is different sizes though. So keep that in mind. I just want to show you the difference. So this is the medium mat. And with the Carbon Series, I'm just going to show you guys, it is approximately 2 inches smaller. So I don't know if you can see that on the screen, if it's translating well, but it's definitely a little bit of a different size. It is perfect for what we're going to talk about later, sliding into it. But Tyler's got all of them right
That's right.
there.
The whole family is here. The whole family Carbon Series. So the top, this one down here, this is the mini. So the mini, so for size comparison wise, it's 5.5 inches by 8 inches. So 5.5 tall, 8 inches wide, and accepts a 4 by 6 inch sheet of magnetics. So that's what this one is. And then the small one is this one. So the small is 12 tall, 16 wide, and accepts a 9 by 12 sheet of magnetics. And so this is the one that actually works with the solder mat. So we weren't going to get too heavily into the solder mat today. We're going to save that for another episode. But when we come out, when you guys hear the solder mat, there was a question about, are the Carbon Series mats safe for soldering? The answer is no, but that's why the solder mat is available separately. So you don't need to have the Carbon Series mat to have a solder mat. It can live by itself. But the cool thing is it will fit inside of the small Carbon Series mat. And the awesome part is we're going to have some more solder mats coming out in the future. We actually are going to have a small solder mat for the mini out, which is going to be really cool. And then we're going to have one for a solder mat for the big Carbon Series mat, which I'm going to show you here now. So let me kind of pull off some of my layers here. I wanted to layer out some mats here. So this is the large Carbon Series mat. So this was the first one that came out. And it comes, so this large Carbon Series mat is 24 tall by 30 wide and accepts a 19 by 24 magnetics, which are the large flat mats and work mats. So, you can buy these by themselves. So buy just with the Carbon Series mat. You can buy it with a sheet of flat magnetics like this, or you can buy them with a work mat. So again, these are all the large work mats and large flat mats here. So kind of wanted to show you a little bit of difference here. So the nice thing is it's almost like a puzzle, right? So if you're on a budget and you want to kind of buy these in steps, you can do that. Obviously, you save more if you do bundle it together. So when you buy a Carbon Series mat and you want to buy a magnetics with it, you do save more, but understanding that not everybody has the same budget. So you can kind of go into steps. So as an example, or let's just say this, you already have a large work mat or large flat mat. Yeah. And you don't need to buy another one, right? So this is a large work mat. This is sold separately on CowRC's website. This is just one without any of the pockets here. And then you can kind of get up to another size of one pockets, right? So another large work mat, same size, but it's got the pockets at the bottom, which is really, really helpful. This is kind of one of my favorites. And then if you...
That's my favorite work mat right there,
yes,
for sure.
This is, honestly, this is like the iconic work mat.
Absolutely.
This was the first one I got, not this one exactly, but the first mat I ever got was this large work mat. That was like my favorite, and it was. I don't still have that one, but I still like the style today. And then another option here, 2 pockets. 2 rows of pockets. So again, another large work mat, 2 rows of pockets. This mat makes it so you can add different mats to it. You can take them off, when you're doing crazy stuff and you want to get it dirty and clean it. This is what you're working with here. The bare bones Carbon Series mat. This is what this is for, is to, get tire sauce on it, clean tires, do thread locker on it, those type of things that you don't want your white mats to get exposed to.
Gluing tires, doing all the abrasive stuff. Yeah, you've seen me and Tyler now who have been beating on our our mats now for basically, well, we're on episode 39. And since we've gotten these mats, I saw Tyler beating on his first and foremost. And I'm like, oh my God, like you can't do that with the standard mat. So seeing him go through, he's spraying away, just getting goop all over the place. And I'm like, wow, man, like, did Heath allow this? Like, what's going on? And it ended up being awesome because it showed that it could take the beating necessary. Now, the reason why I like the Carbon Series the most, and obviously I don't even have mine set up at the moment, you can actually roll up the Carbon Series and unroll it once you get back home, and it keeps its form awesomely. Not like the magnetic work mats where you really can't roll. These ones you can. Once you get it to the track and set up, it always looks dialed. I love it for the durability. I love it for the renting. And I even have an insert that I slide in. It's not as nice as Steve's yet, but I'm working on it. He's got the carbon insert that slides into it, but he just gave you a whole bunch of ideas that you can slide in. And if you already have one, sliding in custom things makes it extremely buildable.
So here's a tip. So this Carbon Series mat was one of the first prototypes that came out. It hasn't changed since this came out. So this is, I don't know how old this is, probably a year at least old. I mean, and it looks just like I got it. So there's no scuffs in it. There's no stains in it. There's nothing. And kind of wanted to show you, what, and you can see this is from actually what I'm going to do right now. So Mouselick, right? So Mouselick, this mat loves Mouselick. And the nice thing about the reason we call it Carbon Series is not that it's made of carbon fiber. It's because of this texture around it. And the way that you make this texture pop is by spraying Mouselick silicone spray on it. And you let it sit here on these borders, and it makes it pop. And this mat, really, you don't even need to wash it. Mouselick silicone is really what you need predominantly. I mean, of course, it works very well with dish soap, part and chassis wash, tire wash is good for cleaning it. Hide wipes are good for cleaning it, but the Mouselick silicone spray makes this Carbon Series or carbon pattern really pop. So what I do for like the outsides is just kind of let it sit there for a little bit. And you let it soak in, and it just makes that pop. And then with anything that's like any residual chemicals or whatever that's on it, you just spray this on there and wipe it off.
Yeah, man, and you can already see the difference. It's crazy how much nicer it's popping already.
Yeah, silicone spray is really this mat's best friend. It works so well with it. It just is it's a nice product to add, and it just makes it look good.
And hey, believe it or not, he is right.
Oh, you're off there. There you go.
Yeah, I would have to go back and check, but definitely blast from the past, man. Episode 3 and 4 of.
Yeah, it's just it's a nice mat. It's super durable. Like Matt or like Adam had mentioned, getting it and roll, folding it up here and roll. Put it in a tote or whatever. Not a big deal. You don't want to leave it like this. Obviously, it's not something you want to leave folded up, but something that you can do along the way. When you're bringing it to and from an event or what have you.
Yeah, especially if you have like a truck cap or one of those trifolds or a rolling lock. Don't leave it in the sun black underneath because you want to basically have it in. You can roll it up to travel back and forth, but after I'm done, all I do, I just take it out and I throw it out on like either one of the beds or the couches or the table. It is the most used mat that I have. Like, look at that. That carbon is.
You can see the carbon.
Here, let me.
Yeah, there you go. See, I mean, you can see like compared to the outside, the stuff that I treated. It turns out real nice. So the more you do it, the better it'll look, and it won't get so dull, over time. But it's a real great tool.
Yeah, it makes that carbon pop.
Oh yes. No, it's definitely something and it's kind of a trick. I don't know how many people know about it, but it's something we've talked about before, and we'll just continue to talk about it because it does work.
Yeah, and honestly, being able to build upon that too is another nice feature. And most everybody that has a mat typically has the standard work mat. And I know that
Right.
he said that that's probably the best one, but definitely worth the price of admission. You will not be disappointed if you go with the Carbon Series and you're into hardcore heavy wrenching. And let's face it, the chemicals that you can get on this mat are nuts.
I have not I will throw enough chemicals on it where it'll just pool. Like everything goes on it. Like it's part and chassis wash, tire wash, mousse slick, the greases, oils. It nothing beats this thing up. Other than, like I said, do not solder on this. That is not what
No,
this is for. It is for chemicals only, no heat. And
yeah.
like Adam said, you don't want to leave this sitting out in the sun. It's black and they'll turn into a fireball. But there's other mats like the solder mat that we have that are for those hot and soldering type of operations.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome that he came out with it. Me being a TKN guy, I need to solder. And basically, when anybody comes over and they need support, I want to make sure that mine's protected. I know that he's saying no CA glues either, but last at cleaners and lubricants, definitely. And honestly, I know he's saying no CA glues and all that stuff, but I have glued my tires on the Carbon Series. And when I'm letting it cure and dry, I notice that some can leave rings and stuff like that. But if you're good with it, you can actually treat it right away with the mousse slick. And I haven't had any residuals yet. So take his word for it. Be very cautious with that stuff. But as long as you hit it quickly, I haven't had any issues with it, thankfully. But now we get to move on to probably my close second. And for affordability and being able to build upon it, man, it's not a bad thing. So let's bring these up. I'll bring up the website here. And we didn't even show the Carbon Series. We had enough between the two of us to cover every Carbon Series that they have on
Right.
the site. So definitely check it out. The site is decked out with all the cool stuff and what integrates into what. But Tyler did a phenomenal job at showing off his private stash and showing what can fit in where. So up next is the iconic mouse pad. And when he first showed me this, I couldn't believe it. Here, let me this is my current setup right here. I just added it to the show here, and you can see that I actually have all three of the pieces that are in here. The piece that I actually have in mind is stolen from my Carbon Series. So
Oh,
everything fits and is
makes sense.
interchangeable. The reason why I want to point that out is because it doesn't have the cut corners. The
Right.
one that you actually get for the mouse pad fits the profile perfectly. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy with that for sure. So the mouse pad obviously comes in a couple different flavors. And the things that I like about the mouse pad is, like Tyler said, if you're on a budget, you can actually build it from the bottom up. Obviously, if you group it together, you do save money. The combos are obviously the way to go. But if you need to start off getting the whole big mega mouse pad for 35 bucks, and if you use the code Cow Tech, you'll save yourself 10%. It's definitely worth the price of admission. So here, let me bring this up here. So this right here is the big bad boy itself. And as you can see, sometimes I don't even put the center one in because I like showing off the graphics. It is awesome. So let's see here. Move clean and apple cider vinegar. Yes. definitely good. I know a couple people have asked me about the mouse pad and cleaning and stuff like that, so we will definitely touch upon that. The mouse pad is an epic as a base layer with phenomenal graphics. Yeah, I agree. The graphics are what sold me on it initially, but when I got it in and on the bench, it is now my go-to first layer on my area. Actually, I think you guys seen it a couple of things when I did my race one. It is my first one layer that I lay down. So I integrate that with my S-Works mats, and it is the centerpiece for sure. So here, let's bring up Tyler's stuff because he's got some cool stuff happening there. I will bring his up.
Yeah, so going kind of like adding on to Adam. So Adam's full size display is on the bottom here. So we'll kind of go large down to the mini first. So the large that Adam has on the bottom center there is 24 by 48. So the actual mouse pad itself is 24 by 48. And the center part is a 19 by 24. So it's all large flat mats and work mats. And then the two strips on the sides are the 6-inch by 18-inch part strips. So again, it's very similar. Like Adam mentioned, he had the magnetics for the Carbon Series. He integrated that into the large mouse pad for the center. And then those part strips, those are sold separately. You can buy them as a package, like Adam mentioned, as a combo. But if you already have those 6x8 part strips, you can use them. Or you don't have to have any magnetics. You can use, I saw Fish and Bill made a comment about hard bodies and protecting the hard bodies that you're working on. You're detailing them. You don't want them scratched. Taking all the magnetics off is not a big deal. Just having this nice soft surface. It's just like the old mouse pads, like a mouse for your computer. That's what this feels like. It's a thin, I'll call it like a fabric type layer on it. And on the top and on the back, it's a rubber, like a very sticky rubber surface. That way it's not sliding around on your table. It keeps everything still, nice and flat. It's great to look at. And then adding magnetics to it is just kind of a bonus for it. So the large is what Adam has. Going down to the small, which is this one on my screen here. So the small, the perimeter is 16 by 25 and accepts a 12 by. Are we off there?
No, you're good. You're good.
Screen's not working. Oh, there we are. So the 12 by 18 magnetics in the center. So a medium work mat or medium flat mat. So if you have those already, and actually I'll show you what I was working with the Stealth Series. Medium, right?
There we go. Nice.
So medium work mat or medium Stealth Series flat mat.
Heck
right?
yeah.
You can do either one. The white one is what you'll see on the website, but if you are in the Stealth Series, it looks really cool with it. Kind of like that gray with a nice gloss black on top of it. Pretty neat looking. So that's an option. And then the last but not least is our mini guy. So the mini is 5.5 by 8. Which is the same size as the Carbon Series and accepts a 4x6 magnetic. So kind of to Adam's point, this magnetic tray goes in with the mini Carbon Series. So the cool thing is it's all integratable, right? So you don't have to buy like all the parts and pieces for each rubber mat, and each time you buy one, have to reset. A lot of it is interchangeable. Again, the large and the medium work mats and flat mats go with the Carbon Series and the Mousepad series. So you can buy them in parts and pieces. Maybe you, like me, start off with a large work mat. If I still have that original large work mat, I could have used it for some of these, right? So it's nice to be able to go and improve your collection as you kind of expand into the hobby. And then you're taking them with you, right? So you if you don't want to, it's not like they have to go together, right? So if you just want to take your flat mat with you, you buy a flat mat for the mouse pad, you just want to take this with you on a trip and leave the mouse pad at home, you know, great. It's just whatever you want to make it into. And so that's kind of what Adam and I are trying to do with these episodes, is to help you choose which mat or which mats work best for you. This is a great mat. Like if you have a limited amount of space at home and you are working on a, let's say, a dining room table, right? This mat is nice and soft. It's just sticky on the surface, back surface. I say it's sticky, it's rubber, right? So it's going to be it's not going to move around. It shuffle around. So if your significant other is worried about you moving the mat around and scuffing up the table, this is not going to do that. It's going to stay put. You can have your magnetics, so you have some, you know, protection on the table or what have you at the countertop, and you're keeping all your stuff, you know, sitting on the flat surface like it's supposed to.
Yeah. So Thomas was asking, what would our recommendation be for somebody brand new on a budget? Obviously, Thomas, if you message either me or Tyler, we can help you out with that, or Heath directly. But I would want to ask you some more questions, because definitely if you're going to be at home mostly working on it, I would recommend one thing. If you're going to be on your tailgate of your truck or doing stuff in the field, I would recommend something completely different. So it kind of depends on you, because I would want to recommend the right mat for your situation so you get the most bang for your buck. But hey, I'm always available on Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. You can see I post on the fan page and all that as well. But reach out to us. We're here to help. That's the most important thing, because we want to get you the question that you definitely have. You're using the dining room table, and his wife could kill him. You know what? I got kicked out to the garage, so I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Right.
But it was definitely a battle at our old place. So it's nice that we got the
give you a tip of, you know, if the dining room table is off limits, and or you're in a place that you don't want to have to like disassemble everything. I like what I'm working on right here is one of those foldable travel tables, right? It's this one's 6 feet long. I think there's some 4 foot long ones. Yeah. I mean, I want to say it's like $25, $30, something like that. Not crazy expensive. It's a great way. I've got like 4 of these things set up in my basement, because I can take them with me. They're lightweight. I can move them around and shift them around and get different setups going. And so if you're in a space, and especially if you want to take it down, it folds up to the size of I don't know, it's like that wide, and it's got a handle on it. So, you know, I find them at Home Depot, but I think Amazon sells them. I'm pretty sure like Menards and Lowe's sells them too. But a great way to just kind of a foldable table, and if you could figure out how to stick the magnetics and the rubber mats to it, you just fold it up and go, and then you lift it up and they're already there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But man, I can't believe we are up at the time.
Yeah.
We got to give away some of these mats.
Yes, we had 2 things.
I actually posted it up just to make sure we get in, because we got 45 people watching and only 32 entered. So please, if you're on Instagram, I've seen a couple of users pop over. Thank you very much. But Instagram, if you hashtag Matageddon, it does not work. It works on YouTube and it works on Facebook. So we'll give you a couple minutes if you want to switch over. There's 32 entries right now. We got over 45 people watching. So it's definitely super cool.
Yeah, and to Adam's point, like he said, you know, and I echo that sentiment of if you have questions, message me as well on Facebook. I don't get enough messages, so I'm happy to help. You know, scale is a big difference. On road versus off road. Are you traveling? Are you traveling by air? Are you traveling by vehicle? Are you outdoor? Are you indoor? Are you seasonal? You know, there's a lot of different questions that can be asked, and we're happy to help you, because there's not a mat that fits all, right?
No.
So there's not this magical mat that exists that will take care of all 10 different ways you can use a mat, but the mats can do more than one thing. So we can help you with that and help you make sure you're keeping your mats safe and secure. You're not damaging them during travel. You're not putting tires on the white magnetics that are going to stain them. You're using your money where it best fits, so that way you're enjoying the products, they're not getting damaged or ruined, and you're happy.
Heck yeah. No, he nailed it, man. He said that it's a question that requires a ton of context because we can't just spit out a one size fits all answer because we want to make sure that it fits your specific needs. Because, man, that's why we thought it was going to be one episode, and we're going into episode 3 of just talking about the different mats and mat setups that you could potentially get. So we're excited because next episode you're going to have to tune in because we get to show off our personal work area. So I'm more excited about that because we're obviously passionate about what we can show off and help out with the customers, right? Oh yeah, it's going to be good. All right, so we gave people enough time to get the hashtags in. We're up to 37, so it's definitely super cool. Is there a carbon mat that fits the mouse pad? Unfortunately, not perfectly, but I use the biggest mouse pad with the biggest carbon mat, and that's kind of like my base setup. You will see it in the next episode, so you're gonna have to join us for that. All right.
That's right.
So what is the first giveaway? I think
the first giveaway, I'm going to go back to my notes here. It is the small mouse pad, so with the magnetics. So let me put that. Actually, let me just switch cameras here. It'll be much easier to do.
Oh, Barry got in last minute. Good luck, guys.
So here it is. Small mouse pad with the magnetics.
All right, everybody. Good luck. Matageddon 2.0. Dom L, congratulations. So Dom, since you're on YouTube, thanks for joining us. You are going to have to message either me or Tyler. Get your information in so we can get your product shipped out ASAP. Congratulations. Heck yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Is super cool. All right.
Next.
So, yeah,
this Carbon Series here
is super cool. Yeah, he's happy. There he is. All right. Okay, good luck. Winner number 2. No problem, Dom. Thanks for joining us. Kurt's RC. Man, it's been a while since I've seen him up there.
He's been pretty active today. A lot of questions.
Absolutely, man. Guys, congratulations. Kurt, obviously, just message either me or Tyler.
Yes.
And we will get you your guys' prizes. And, man, I am super excited about bringing our stuff to light so you guys can kind of see behind the scenes. I posted a little something earlier today on the fan page just to get you guys a little riled up and kind of show what we do, like, for you guys and for ourselves as well. But I know I'm excited to show off my personal stuff for sure.
No, me too. I really enjoy the different setups. And like we mentioned, there's a different setup for every different event and type of RC and all that type of stuff. So, they do translate over from side to side, but we'll hopefully be able to answer some of those questions and get into some scenarios, with size, outdoor versus indoor, and just kind of, what are you doing? Are you cleaning? Are you building? Are you, detailing a hard body? Those type of different things. And everybody's kind of into different stuff. Some people are into bashing where they're break stuff, they're dirty. Some people are into scale stuff, or maybe they're putting nice bodies they've spent hours and hours painting on. They don't want them scratched up. There's all kinds of different stuff. So it depends on what you like and where you are and kind of how do you want to travel. Because, traveling is different. I've traveled through air, through vehicle, and there's different ways to do that too.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche thing, and it's something that's personalized. So, like Tyler said, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We're here to help, and we want to help because it's exciting for us knowing that you guys are getting the right stuff for your unique situation, right? So reach out, have some fun, and we will see you in 2 short weeks. So
yes, we will.
Until next time, man.
Matageddon 3.0.
See ya. Bye for now.